Hiya, this is video 3. I'm sorry that I'm taking so long to produce these videos, but I'm just trying to build up the courage, if I'm honest, to give you a good biographical view of what I've been through and a little bit about my past, just so you know where I'm coming from, really. Also, I really want you guys out there, if anybody sees this video, I want you to, understand that you're not alone out there. The sickness, a lot of it, for a lot of people, is that they're alone, and there's a lot of people just sat there in their room right now, maybe. And I've been where you've been, and please just hold on. If it's just for one day, just one more day, you can do it. You're not alone. Now back to me. Well, I'm 33. My name's Dave. I used to work as a care manager for a few years, and before that I was a support worker working with people with mental difficulties, learning difficulties, as well as physical disabilities. Really enjoyed it for many years. So I've worked with a lot of different people, from adults with autism, young people with autism, from Asperger's to just moderate learning difficulties to depression. All quite naively, really, through my 10 years. As if you can do the math, it's obviously I started about 22, and that might have contributed, I think, in a way, to where I ended up. Which basically, if I skip along, I took a new job on. I was married, I had my own house, had a very nice expensive car, dog, cat, all the idealistic things I thought I wanted in life. A good job, well-paid job, but I wasn't happy, and things weren't right in my mind. I can see that looking back. My partner that I was married to was a very, very lovely lady who loved me very much. There was no issue with the relationship or that person. It was something that was happening to me, and I didn't see it coming. Rather than me going in depth about every single part, I'll skip along now to the point where I was about a year and a half into work, finding it very stressful. Had my marriage starting to break down, even though through my own behalf. It was me that was pushing that end button, if you like. Though it's very difficult, it's what I felt was fair. But at that point, I'd been sat in a room for weeks, just sitting in a bedroom where I'd put a chair and a laptop, and I thought I was alright, just sitting there, smoking some weed every now and again. Yeah, but the more, it was just the seclusion. I didn't even realise I was doing it, and subsequent to that, Christmas Eve, had a massive sort of alcohol-induced fit of rage. I don't know how else to explain it. Smashed the kitchen, smashed the turkey, smashed everything. I was screaming, I was self-harming, I cut myself down the arm with a broken bottle or something. And that's when it all started, really. All the, realising the damage I'd done to myself, maybe. Well, actually, no, not even then. Being very ill. Following that, very difficult Christmas. Following that incident, actually, my wife came down to try and calm me down. Thought it was so crazy that she thought I was actually arguing with other people, there was nobody there. yeah, so I was going. She left after I sort of ended the marriage, which I thought I was okay, but I was very, very depressed. I tried that night to kill myself with an overdose of paracetamols, and I know for a fact, looking back, that I built up those paracetamols in the house. 30p from Asda, buying a packet every time we went shopping, knowing that we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packets in the house. And that led to a very difficult time in my life, which I will go into again. But just to give you the full extent of what I've been through, following that, self-harm became a daily thing for me. It's resulted in all sorts of things. Visits to the hospital. My left forearm's completely scarred. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera, but you get the idea. Just to contrast, this is my right arm. I don't know if you can see it very well, sorry. But it's just, that's a constant reminder of what I've been through. Fight against depression, against anxiety. I followed. There's another attempt that I tried again to kill myself with another overdose, which I just blankly did in front of my partner without her realising, and then took about my overdose, then pretended I was just tired and went to sleep. Didn't tell anybody for days. After that time I went to the doctor, which started with the antidepressants, which led to another very difficult period, which is just being messed up in the head with medication, depression. Just my whole head felt like it was broken. Just constant crying without realising, until I was looking back. Driving the car, I'd be crying. Get in the house, I'd be happy. Happy in the office, I'm happy-go-lucky. Mr. Not Shy, Mr. Very Talkative. And that changed, and looking back, people noticed that. Pushing everyone away, every single person that cared, just not talking to them, or just not myself. So yeah, that's roughly a little bit about, I know it sounds a lot maybe, but that's a little bit of what happened. Now, as you can see, my arm, I've not cut myself for quite a while, so I'm feeling quite good about that. I still get really bad bouts of anxiety, which I deal with myself with just the way I think about things, which I'm happy to discuss further if anybody wants to know any questions. Another reason I'm doing the videos as well is what I found personally was a lot of friends and family and associates. They can either some people try their best to understand, and in their trying, I think they talk rather than listen. It's a very difficult thing to explain to someone else, and I think I'm coming from a very good authority here, considering I'm somebody who's worked with a wide range of people with a wide range of illnesses and disabilities, and seeing, knowing that these medications have a certain effect, and understanding that they have side effects and they result in certain actions in people, but yeah, it's completely different to experience being on that medication yourself and experiencing those actions. For example, getting angry when it's not a thought or an emotion, it's a chemically driven anger, it's anxiety, it's too much testosterone, the serotonin's going too high, it's whatever. But how do you control that? That's not something you can logically say to yourself. There's no argument, isn't it? There's no rationale, because it's chemically driven. As if a crack addict would smoke his crack pipe, it would last. It's like taking paracetamol. It lasts 4 hours. It's the same sort of thing. So I want people to be able to ask me questions they might want to ask somebody they know that's dealing with depression or suicide or anxiety. I'm not saying I've got any special skills or that I'm a doctor. I'm nothing like that. I'm just a guy who's been through a lot, whether it's off my own doing or not, that's regardless. And I feel that coming to terms with an illness is realising that it is a fight. Loneliness is the battle that we're against, and fright, and in whatever way it manifests itself. And we need to reach out to one another. We need to be a lot more honest. I found that I'm very open and honest about what I've been through, and I've got to say, I'd say 70% of the people I already knew would proclaim to have panic attacks, either in the past or continuously do, and always experience them. A lot of people are saying that they've self-harmed. It's a very large percentage of people out there that would never mention it unless somebody else comes forward with their emotion, I suppose, displayed to that person, you know. You always run the risk of that other person slamming you down, not listening, not understanding, but you know, that's a different thing altogether. My recent behaviour for my documentation, I've had a very, very difficult couple of days, if I'm being very honest. I've not hurt myself, but I've had thoughts of self-harm. I've had my partner here. I've also got my dog. And if you look, I've got my cat. I can honestly say my dog there has helped save my life in a lot of ways. People may scoff or people may believe it. She's not giving me mouth to mouth, let's not be pedantic. You know, but when you're alone, and I don't mean when you're on your own, I mean you could be in a crowd, you can be in a house full of people, you can be in a classroom, you can be on the bus, you can be anywhere. And if you wish to close yourself off to everyone, you can do that. And you might already be doing that. And that's not good. But if it's just one person listening to this, and you open yourself up to someone else, or even just give that phone call or that one text that person that you've not spoken to, and just saying, you're right, how you doing, you know? Or, you know, somebody you know is not right, you don't know what to say, tell them you don't know what to say. Don't give them a big spiel about what you think or how ill you've been. Just listen to the person. It doesn't matter what, you know, we're all here, we're all together, and the only way to get over these issues that we all have is to get rid of the stigma. I hope these videos help you. I know they'll definitely help me to reflect on how I'm feeling, let alone how I'm looking after my haircut. So yeah, I hope these help. Please comment, like, or send a link. I'm more than happy to answer any questions if I can. I will be honest, and I'll be, you know, ask what you want. I am totally free, open to questions, and I'll answer them honestly. So yeah, this is the end of video 3, I think. So thanks for watching, and I hope it helps. And just remember, you're not alone. We're here together.